Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Thursday, August 21. I'm Barry Peer. Thank you for joining me on my Thursday update. And I'd like to open my update with Sydney's weather. Well, Sydney's weather, well, I can't actually show it to you, but I can tell you about it. It is wet, cold, and miserable. So, if you have any outdoor plans, guys, forget it. It is not worth taking the risk. And my advice to you guys out there that usually tune into my YouTube videos, please do not, and I repeat, please do not be an absolute fool and drive through flooded causeways and listen to the traffic reports on your radio. Look up on your websites where the road closures are and if there are any accidents or cancellations with transport, etc. So if you know that there is a flood event going on or about to happen, I should say, please be prepared. Please have essential items such as canned food, your bread, your, your toiletries, and things like that. And if the state emergency service knock on your door and say you've got to get out, please adhere to those decisions, to the warnings, I should say. And I will just pause that again. Welcome back. As I was saying about the floods, do not, and I repeat, do not drive through or do anything stupid. And like I've just said, have your essentials ready, like your kids' clothing, your food, your drinks, and your bedding. If you and your family have to sleep somewhere else on that night, in case there is flooding in your local area. Okay? And like I said, like be prepared, guys, and have a torch with some spare batteries in it as well, so you know that you've got it, so that if there is a blackout in your home, have a torch ready. That is very important. Okay, it's no point being unprepared for a flood emergency because back in 2022 we had a massive lot of rain and days of it. And everywhere you looked, it was flooded. Even here on the northern beaches. That was before I presented my last program here, before I moved to Queensland. And here we go again. So today, guys, a very, very wet day coming up. So if you know that it is going to be very wet, and if you don't need to go out, please do not. And I repeat, please do not go out. And I will continue this update with you a little later on today, and I will be covering more on this rain event that is happening around Sydney at the moment. The time now is 13 minutes past 9 o'clock. It is Thursday, the 21st of August. And before I do go, it is Oceana's 12th birthday. We turned 12 on Tuesday. So 12 years we have been going strong. Well, 12 years we have been in operation. So I will tell you a bit about Oceania too on the second part of my update, which is coming up later today. But I will be back with you later on today to continue my Thursday update. I'm Barry here. Good afternoon. I have just returned from the doctors in DYR itself. This is Barry here with you for the second part of my rap today. And this morning I spoke about the weather. The weather is pretty terrible at the moment. So if you don't need to go out, guys, please do not go out unless you really need to, because the weather is pretty woeful and dismal at the moment. Hopefully it will be better next week. So I went and saw my new doctor today and she was pretty good, although she was held up. But hey, we can't expect everything to be perfect, can we? No, we cannot. So in ending my Thursday report today, if you if you don't need to go out anywhere, please stay warm, stay home and dry. And if you are unwell, guys, do not go to work, do not spread your germs around and give them to anyone else. So I will be back with you tomorrow to bring you the Friday report. So I hope that you will join me then. But in the meantime, you take care and I will see you later on. Bye bye. Hello everyone, I'm Barry here, back with you to give you a full rundown of what I've done today. Well, today I visited the Moringa Medical Center and visited and met my new doctor. Okay, but I won't go into that. But what I will tell you though is I'm reminding you people out there to take it easy on those roads, okay? Because it is wet out there. And if you drive or swim or ride in the floods, all I can say is that you are stupid idiots. There is absolutely no excuse for stupidity out there. So if you know that a road is flooded, please don't play the fool and be an absolute idiot. Because you only have the one life out there, guys. So don't be a fool and put your own life at risk. Because your family is waiting for you at home. And if you have a son or daughter, they may be waiting for you as well. So, my advice to you tonight as I draw Thursday, August 21 to a close is please don't act the fool. There is no need to do it or no reason to do it. So if you want to play the fool, then you have to face the consequences. And like I just said a moment ago, there is absolutely no cause for stupidity. Stupidity never works with me or with me. Because I'm a man who won't stand for stupidity out there. There are a lot of idiots out there playing the fool and there's no need for it. So my advice to you people that are watching out there, please stop the foolish games and do something constructive with your life instead of putting them instead of putting your life at risk. There is absolutely no call for foolishness. Absolutely none at all. So as I leave you tonight, please do think about what I have said to you during this update tonight. I am not being mean when I say those things, but putting your own life at risk does not, and I repeat, it does not work with me. So, like I've just said a couple of minutes ago, don't play the fool. Don't be an idiot. Because if you know that it's raining out there, don't take the risk of going into flood waters. There is absolutely no need to be a fool out there and put your own life at risk. You only have the one life, guys, so why be an idiot and waste it? think about what I have said, please. And I draw Thursday to a close. And me as a 50-year-old, would you see me going out in the rain and doing foolish things? I wouldn't think so. Because wouldn't I do stupid things like that? Well, because I know better. And so should you people out there. So, it's time to start doing something constructive and positive instead of going out there doing stupid things. And that's where I must leave you for tonight. And I will be back with you first thing in the morning to recap all this. The time now is 16 minutes past 8. It is Thursday, the 21st of August. This is Barry Fear signing off. I will catch up with you in the morning. Good night. Good night to you, and good night to all the viewers out there. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday, the 22nd of August. I'm Barry Fear. Thanks for joining me here on this Friday morning, and thanks for waking up with me wherever you watch the show. We're just recapping on last night. What I've said, there is no need to be foolish, and don't ride or drive through floodwaters. Like I said last night, if you know that a road is flooded, please do not drive on it, and please do not, and I repeat, do not ride in flooded areas because you're putting your own life at risk, okay? Because there is no excuse for stupidity. Stupidity never works with me. It never has and it never will. So if you want to take the risk, by all means go for it. Nobody is stopping you, but like I said, there is no need for stupidity. You only have the one life, so please do not waste it. Don't waste your time. Don't be an absolute fool and put yourself at risk, because life is too good to waste. And like I said also last night, your family is waiting for you at home, and you don't want the SES knocking on your door and saying that your loved one was lost in floods. And be prepared for a flood too. Have everything ready like your canned food, your bread, your non-perishable items, etc. So always take heed of the warning. Listen to your radio and television reports. Okay? That is very important. Okay? So don't be a fool and drive through the flooded areas, okay? And there is absolutely no need to put your own life at risk. Think about the hard work that the state emergency service do. Think about it, because you are the one that is putting your own life on the line, guys. So really do think about what I am saying to you here on the show today, this morning. So that is a Friday morning update. I will be back with you this afternoon to wrap it all up. The time is 10 minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Friday, the 22nd of August. I'm Barry Fear. Well, good afternoon. This is Barry Fear back with you again. It is the end of the working week, and it's the weekend around the corner. I'm looking forward to it. What are your plans for the weekend? I'd like to hear from you about them. Well, here's how my week started. Okay, let's go back to Sunday of this week. Now, on Sunday morning, I woke up, had some breakfast, okay, and then went to the gents, and then went to the Leagues Club. But unfortunately, I had to cut my day at the Leagues Club short. And why was that? Because I was not well. I overheated in the club. So this Sunday when I go out, I will not be wearing a blanket and a beanie to the club. So I will learn not to make that mistake again. And then my asthma got really bad, and then on Sunday night, I ended up having to call the paramedics in. Not good. Okay, so I ended up going to Northern Beaches Hospital on that night and spent the rest of the night there. Now, I won't tell you what happened, okay, because it will take me too long to tell you. So I was released from discharge at just after 9:30 on Monday morning, and came home at 10 o'clock and had the rest of the day off. Okay, so that was my Sunday and Monday. Tuesday, I went back to work and did some baking and made some peanut butter cookies. Peanut butter and oat cookies. Yumma, yumma. And that was good. And then on Wednesday, I went to the Manly Leagues Club and I had some fun there. And then Thursday, I went to the bank, the doctors, and then doing my RSL and had some fun there. And then last night, started constructing a video of what I did okay, and spoke about many things. And I spoke about the weather and wealth and the flooding. And speaking of weather, just reminding you viewers once again, if you know a road is flooded, please do not, and I repeat, please do not be an idiot and drive through the flooded areas. And if you know that a road is shut, please do not attempt to drive through or ride through or even worse, swim in the polluted water. Why? Because it can make you quite sick. So so I will be back with you on Monday, and on Monday it will be episode 93. So rather than export the video that I did yesterday, I'm going to export the whole lot together. So, you've got or the Thursday and Friday video, and plus the Monday video coming up as well. And on Monday it will be episode 93, so stay tuned for that. Well, the time now is 17 minutes past 4 o'clock on Friday. And before I do go, today I made some Anzac biscuits. So if you're looking for something to do over the weekend, if it's wet, why don't you get the kids involved in the kitchen and make some Anzac biscuits? So that is the Thursday and Friday report for the 21st and 22nd of August. And winter is just about over. Thank goodness for that. So I will catch up with you on Monday for episode 93. Stay tuned for that. I look forward to your company then. But in the meantime, you take care and have a lovely weekend. And I look forward to catching up with you on Monday. I'm Barry Fair. You take care and be kind to one another. Be kind to yourself. Look after yourselves and each other. Have a great weekend. Bye bye. Good morning. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the start of episode 93. I'm Barry Beer. Today, I've got a cracking show coming up for you, and I hope that you will tune in with me and listen and tune in to what I've got lined up for you today. Well, today we're gonna be doing a van video, and I will pause that. Well, like I said today, I've got a cracking show for you coming up, and it's episode 93 today. So I hope that you will tune in and listen and all that. Well, the year is going like a steam train, guys, and it's hard to believe. 2025 is just going like the, and we can't stop it, can we? No, we can't. So, what are your plans for the rest of 2025? I'd like to hear from you about it. Let me know I will pause that. Um, let me know, what your thoughts are about the plans for the rest of 2025 for you. Well, it is almost time for me to go, so I will catch up with you at some time. The time is 9 minutes after 8 o'clock. You're with Barry there. The date is the 25th of August. And thank you for joining me. Have a great day, and I will see you at Lifestyles. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to episode 93 today. I'm Barry Fear, and today, on episode 93, we're going to be talking about jams and chutneys. Now, who loves a good jam here? And a chutney, of course. Well, jam is sweet and it's versatile, and you can have it on your toast, put it on your scones, make a sponge cake with it. And here's Alec now. Good morning, Alec. Welcome to episode 93 today.
Thanks, Barry. Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, jam. This segment is proudly brought to you by the Australian Women's Weekly. And there is a picture of the jam there. So let's talk about the importance of making jam. Well, firstly, you must have good, clean, sterilized jars, okay? Here's Alec now inviting the show with this.
Thanks, Barry. Yeah, absolutely a great topic to talk about today. Jams and chutneys, really yummy, great to have on all sorts of different types of food. And as you say, if you're going to make your own jams or chutneys, it's very important to have clean and sterilized jars.
Okay, so you must treat the jars in the oven, never in a sink, okay? But make sure the oven is not too hot before you put them in. Otherwise, the glass can crack easily. Here's Alec now.
Oh, thanks, mate. So are you talking about sterilizing the jars?
Yes.
Right, okay. So the instructions in the Women's Weekly Jam book says that one of the methods for sterilizing is to stand the jars upright without touching each other on a wooden board on the lowest shelf in the oven. Turn the oven to the lowest possible temperature and leave to heat for 30 minutes.
Yeah, so you must, and we repeat, You must leave the jar on a board in the oven for 30 minutes, and when we say that, it means that you must make sure that there are no germs inside the jars before you sterilize them. Here's Alec now.
Yeah, absolutely. So you kind of clean them out, and then you put them in the oven, not touching each other, and you heat them for 30 minutes on the lowest possible setting. And then when you take them out with tongs or rubber gloves.
But don't just take them out, because again, you could burn yourself and you could drop the jar and it can smack. Here's Alec.
Yep. So you should leave them to cool, and then pull them out and leave them standing upright and not touching each other.
So let's tell you about the ingredients in a jam. Well, you need pectin, sugar, and the desired fruit. Okay? But like we've said on many of the shows we've brought to you, okay? Never use off ingredients. Here's Alec.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's always good to use fresh ingredients. You'll get the best flavors and the highest quality cooking if you use fresh ingredients.
So let's start off with making a chutney first.
Which one would you like to talk about, mate? Chutneys and pickles.
So let's go with the green tomato chutney first.
Green tomato chutney. There.
Okay, so green tomato chutney, there it is there. Okay?
Yum.
Now, for this recipe you need 2 pounds or 2 kilograms, 4 pounds of green tomatoes, cored and chopped coarsely. Okay? So 2 large brown onions, 400 grams, chopped coarsely. 2 large green skinned apples, again 400 grams, peeled, cored and chopped coarsely. Okay? 2 cups of 440 grams of raw sugar. 2.5 cups of 625 mils of cider vinegar. 1 cup of 150 grams of sultanas. 4 fresh long red chilies chopped finely. 6 garlic cloves and some coarse cooking salt and kosher salt. Okay, prep and cook time 2 hours makes 5 cups. Okay, nutritional count per tablespoon 0.1 gram total fat, saturated fat, and 1.5 grams of fiber. Now, you stir the ingredients in a large saucepan over high heat without boiling until sugar dissolves. Bring to the boil. Reduce the heat, simmer uncovered, stirring occasionally about 1.5 hours or until chutney is thick. Step 2. Spoon the hot chutney into hot sterilized jar and seal immediately. Label and date job when cold. Tips. Granny Smith apples are best for this recipe. Store chutney in a cool, dark place for at least 3 weeks before opening. Refrigerate after opening. This recipe is quite spicy. For a milder version, you can remove the seed from the chilies or use less chili. Serving suggestions. Serve with cold meats and cheese or on sandwiches and burgers. Here's Alec.
Mate, that absolutely sounds delicious. It does definitely sound hot. So for this particular recipe, Women's Weekly is recommending 4 fresh long red chilies, finely chopped, and that's the whole chili, right? So the seeds inside, which are really, really hot, and that's 4 of them. So I can understand this being a very hot recipe. So I think that tip is a really good one, to maybe take the seeds out and maybe use less chili. I think a lot of people would probably want to do that. But regardless, it looks absolutely delicious, and I think would be a very yummy thing to have to add to your food.
Will this show you the picture of that chutney there?
There it is.
Now, what is chutney, I hear you ask? Well, chutney is marinated fruits and vegetables, okay? It is made of fruit, onions, sugar, vinegar, salt, and spices. Here's Alec.
Yeah, and it is a very delicious thing, isn't it? So you can put it on all sorts of different foods, and it's just a really nice sauce to put on them and add extra flavour.
So what can you serve? What is this chutney served with? Well, I've just given you the serving suggestions there. Serve with cold meats and cheese or on sandwiches and burgers. Here's Alec.
Yeah, I would definitely have that on a burger, mate. That sounds like my cup of tea, definitely. It would be really yummy to put that on a burger, to spice it up and give it a bit of zing. Sounds delicious.
So the next chutney recipe we're going to talk about is apricot chutney. Go back, mate. Go forward one.
Really? Tomato.
That's
Mango chutney.
mango. The next chutney recipe is a mango chutney. And again, you can serve it with cold meats and cheese and on sandwiches. And of course, serve with grilled meats or on curries. And for this recipe, okay, you need 3 medium-sized mangoes, chopped coarsely, okay, 1 cup of coarsely chopped dried apricots, 2 medium red onions, chopped finely, 1.5 cups of light brown sugar, okay, 2 cups of 500 mils of cider vinegar, 6 garlic cloves chopped finely, or should I say 6 cloves of garlic chopped finely, a teaspoon of ground ginger, half a teaspoon of dried chili flakes, and 1 teaspoon of cooking salt, kosher salt, if that's right.
Kosher.
Kosher salt. So you stir the ingredients in a large saucepan over high heat without boiling until sugar dissolves. Simmer uncovered, stirring occasionally about 1 hour until the chutney is thick. Spoon hot chutney into hot sterilized jars and seal neatly. Label and date jars when cold. Store chutney in a cool, dark place for at least 3 weeks before opening. Refrigerate after opening. Serving suggestions. Serve with grilled meat, fish, and curries. And look at that, guys. Look at that.
Looks sensational.
Last recipe today we're going to talk about is a jam one this time.
Which one, mate?
What about an apricot and vanilla bean jam? Okay, so here we have now an apricot and vanilla bean jam. Okay, for this you need 1 kilogram, 2 pounds of fresh apricots, hard and seeded, 1 vanilla bean, half lengthways, 1 cup of 250 mils of water, and a kilo of 2 pounds of white granulated sugar. Here's Alec.
Mate, this absolutely sounds delicious. Lots of sugar in this recipe though, isn't it? So it's quite a sweet jam.
So combine the apricots, vanilla bean and the water in a large saucepan, bring to the boil. Reduce the heat, simmer covered for about 15 minutes until mixture is pulpy. Step 2. Add the sugar to the pan. Stir over high heat without boiling until the sugar dissolves. Bring to the boil uncovered without stirring for about 35 minutes or until jam dissolves when tested. Discard vanilla bean. Pour hot jam into hot sterilized jars and seal neatly. Label and date the jars when cold. Here's Alec.
Wow, mate, that sounds absolutely delicious. So I presume this is the kind of thing that you would have on toast.
Yep, and you can have it with your scones and whipped cream. Here's Alec.
Very nice, mate. Scones and whipped cream for this jam. Sounds absolutely delicious.
So if you're looking for something to do on a wet day, why don't you make some chutney and jam? But remember, check your ingredients and nutrition and have good, clean, hot, sterilized jars. Here's Alec.
Mate, all very good advice for some very yummy chutneys and jams. Our
closing sequence today is as usual, the 000. Please don't be an idiot with that number and tie up the emergency services with nuisance play inappropriate calls. Here's Alec now to close our show with that.
Yeah, thanks Barry. Always a good community service announcement. Only use 000 in an emergency.
And don't diddle-daddle around with it or bugger around with it, because you are potentially putting someone else's life at risk, like mine. But if you do need to call 000, by all means do use it. But if you don't have an emergency, guys, please do leave that number alone, because it is a vital service. And I'm going to put it out there that the 000 call takers are vastly more busy than you might give thought to. So if you see an ambulance or a fire truck or a policeman car coming to an emergency, please give thought to all those people, including the rescue helicopters. Here's Alec now.
Yeah, absolutely, Barry. Good to be sensitive and considerate about emergency services people. They're doing their job, and it's an absolutely vital job for our community.
And like, we don't want to discourage you from calling 000, but if you are unsure about your health, please do call them. But for genuine, for minor things, get a friend or a taxi to take you up to the surgery or to the local hospital, and all of those things you can do without it being an emergency. And be honest with the doctors too. Here's Alec.
Yeah, really good advice, Barry. So for just little things that are minor, absolutely take yourself off to the doctor. No need to bother 000.
And don't tell them that your souffle won't rise properly in the oven, or your car won't start, or you've dropped your television remote, or you need your aircon on, or your heater, or your cooking pot is on fire somewhere. Use your fire blanket. That's what they're there for. Don't ring 000 to get the ambulance to put your cream on your skin. They won't be doing that. Here's Alec.
Yep, no little silly things or trivial things for 000. Only call them in an emergency.
And that is episode 93 for this Monday, the 25th of August. Join us again in the springtime where we'll be talking about getting ready for spring, and the longer days are coming too. You may have noticed that the days are going to start getting longer now. Here's Alec.
Yeah, absolutely. And I cannot wait, mate. I can't wait for spring, the warmer weather, and the longer days.
So we've got plenty to talk about coming up in our spring series. I can't wait to bring it to you. Episode 94 coming up in 2 weeks from this day. We cannot wait to bring it to you. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, and the viewers out there, you have a very pleasant Monday, and we've got some warmer weather coming up this week as well. 23 degrees, I think it will be on one of the days this week. So, from Alec Taylor and I now, you take care, and we'll see you next time. And as Tony Barbie used to say, keep smiling and bye for now, and take care of yourselves and each other. And it is nice to be nice. Here's Alec now for his farewell.
Thanks, Barry. Thanks for having me on the show.
And we'll see you again on episode 94. Bye-bye now. Thank you for joining me on episode 93 today. And today I've talked about jams and chutneys on the show. On the show next time, I will be talking about how to prepare for spring and what flowers and vegetables to grow, and daylight saving as well, and spring recipes. And also I did the van video today, so stay tuned for that. So I've had a lot of fun doing this show with you viewers out there today, and I thank you for joining me on episode 93 today. And as always, the community announcement that I've always closed the show with, and that is 000. Please do not, and I repeat, do not be an absolute fool with that number and ring 000 for non-life-threatening emergencies. I'd like to put it out there that the 000 call takers are vastly more busy than you might give thought to. So please have consideration for the 000 call takers, the police, the fire and the ambulance. Anyone that is caught ringing 000 when they don't have an emergency will be dealt with severely by the police. So it won't be the paramedics coming, it will be the police. So please do not ring 000 if you don't have an emergency. And this is where I must close episode 93. Until the next episode then, which will be episode 94, I'm Barry Fair. Thanks for your company today, and I look forward to your company on the next episode. I will be back with you for episode 94 soon, and stay tuned for the van video. I look forward to bringing to you that program. So until then, guys, this is Barry Fair wishing you a very pleasant rest of Monday, and I will catch you next time around. Until then, it's bye for now.